Okay, I've gone ahead and opened up my template file that I call it my OrthoISO border sheet. So once I've got it opened, I went ahead and modified this and just put an XX down here in the title block itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and save this file. We're going to call this one part 20. Let's see here. We'll call this one OrthoISO border sheet. I've already got 19 created, so I'm just going to highlight the 19 here, and I'm going to change that to 20. Okay. So now this is part 20, as you can see up here, OrthoISO. Now I've gone ahead and unlocked and set myself to the border sheet. Now sometimes your border sheet may be locked, but unlock it here. Make sure you're set to that layer, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to double click on this, and we'll give it a second here. Okay. So now I'm going to highlight this, and I'm just going to key in 20 for part 20. Everything's set right, scale. I went ahead and made my name where it's just rplat, so that way it's a little bit easier to work with, and it gives me more room out here in case I had to add some more information. So with that done, now I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to select the OrthoISO area here, and I'm going to unlock that. As you can see, I'm going to go back to the border sheet, and I'm going to lock that border sheet. So again, now we're set to drawing the OrthoISO. So I'm going to use my middle mouse button and roll out, push down on my middle mouse button, and let me pan over. And we're going to go ahead and get started real quick. Now I'm going to do a few things a little different from what we had in the past. Let's go make sure that we're set to all our object snaps, or O snaps, are set to endpoint, midpoint, center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, extension, insertion, perpendicular, and tangent. I don't do these down here, but this is what I look for here, so I just hit the enter key. Now once I've got that done, I'm going to come over here and hit escape. Let's get that out of the way. We're going to come up here with the place line command, and I'm going to find the midpoint, which is this right here, and I'm going to move over here to this. Hit escape out of that. Now since it was the last command, I'll hit my space bar, and it says specify first point, so I'll just come here and I'll come down to this. Again, escape, and now I'm going to do an offset, and it says specify offset distance. So I'm just going to come down here and say 1, and now it says select object to offset. Okay, I'll grab this guy here and I'll come there. I'm going to do it one more time, go this way, and now I'm going to come above and go horizontal, and I'll come down here and go that. Now I need to get these two lines out of the way, so let's go ahead and escape. Just going to click here once, click here twice, using my green selection box, go ahead and get rid of that. Now I'm going to come down here, click once, click twice. Now all these lines are selected. I'm going to hit my trim command up here, and I'll just get rid of these guys right here. Now one of the lines I'm not going to need is this one here in the ISO quadrant, so I'm not going to use that, so I'll hit escape, and then I'm just going to come hit my eraser. I'll erase this line. Okay, hit enter, and it's gone. Okay, so we've got this guy set up, we've got our quadrant set up. Now let's go figure out what drawing we're actually going to do. We said part 20, correct? So we're going to go back to the Richard Platt website, wherever that is. Now, as I asked you before, I wanted you to put your bookmarks up here on your ribbon bar, so I went ahead and did that. I'm going to go to Platt, R.A. Platt, and I'm going to come over here to teach, go to tutorials, and it'll be on the second page, which is part 20. Let's go look at part 20, correct ortho-isometric projection, part 20. Okay, that's a guy right there, so we're going to draw him. Now again, we're going to draw this too exactly as the border sheet says, half scale. So what I'm going to do now is come back to AutoCAD, come down here and select on that, and I'm going to do offset, and on this one it's set to default to 1 because that was the last command we did. This time I'm going to say 2, and I'm just going to select him and select object to offset, and I'm going to go this way. I'm going to select the object to offset, go this way, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll escape out of that and hit space bar again. Actually, let's go down here to our web and check that out. So now we need to come up let's say right here it says come up 1.5, and down here it's going to be obviously 1.5, so half of that's going to be 0.75. So let's go back to AutoCAD. So hit my space bar again, because again that was the last command I used, and this time I'm going to say 0.75 of an inch. So I'll click on this guy right here, come up, and then of course I'll click on this guy over here and come up. Now let's do some trimming. So I'm going to select all of this. Let's get out of that command first. Go to trim. It says trim objects. Select all. I'm just going to come up here and select these. I'll hit enter, and it says pick one to trim. I'm going to get this guy gone, this one gone, that one gone, that one gone as well. Hit escape. Hit same command again. Select our objects, and I've got that selected, so I'll hit enter again. And I'm going to get rid of this guy here, and we'll hit escape. I'll go over here and select this guy right here, get those selected, hit my space bar, and we'll trim objects. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that one. Now go ahead and escape again. Now we need to do another offset for the height of this. Now let's go back to our drawing and check it out. Drawing says 2.5, so obviously we need to come down 1.25. So let's go back to AutoCAD, and we're going to do another offset, and it's a specified distance. We're going to say 1.25 for 1.25. Let's make sure we're in that field. 1.25. Let's make sure I got my num lock turned on, and now let's say 1.25. Oops, I missed it here. Let's do that again. 1.25. Okay, I got a comma in there. Let's fix that. There we go. 2.5. Enter. Select our objects to offset. Click him, go down. Click him, go down. So now what we're going to do is, that looks pretty good, and we're going to use this time our up arrow. And our up arrow says offset, and then it says trim. So we're going to hit trim. So what it does is it remembers our commands from the last time. So now it says select these. I'll click once, and then come back up here and click up here. And what it did was just trim away those excess objects. That's pretty cool how that worked. Let's do that again. That's kind of neat. Let's do Control Z. We'll go ahead and hit our up arrow again. And there's trim. Select the objects to offset. So we'll do that. Actually, we already had them set, so let's try that one more time. So we'll set them again. And now we'll hit the up arrow, trim, and we'll select this one. This one's I want. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Trim. And we'll get rid of that, and that. So we'll hit our escape button now. Get out of that command. And this looks pretty good. We're going to save this right now so we don't get too long of a video.